Happy Church Day, folks. DW Pastor Barry here. Happy Sunday. Let me sit up at attention. Lots of stuff going on. Woke up to a little bit of snow this morning. We didn't know if the roads were slick or not, so part of me thought once again maybe church might be canceled because it might have been slippery, but it wasn't. The roads were clear. So we got to church. I taught my class this morning. And then this afternoon, after last night, TikTok was shut down at 10 p.m. and then lo and behold, this afternoon it's back on. Surprise, it's owned by Meta. Good old Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, yay. Some people believe that Trump has him on a leash now and only allowed him to buy TikTok with promises of not filtering, but still, I don't like knowing that he runs TikTok because I don't care what anyone says, they're still going to try to filter things, probably more so than ever before. I don't like it. Don't like it. And I'll remind people to keep praying for President Trump because a lot of people have had bad feelings. I shared last Sunday what I was seeing, and then I found out later that people were already having visions of him being removed. And I saw more, I think it was last Sunday, what I was seeing more was the repercussions of what that would do to this country. It would rip America apart. Civil strife, maybe even civil war. That's what I saw. So we're praying God's will. Our church prayed for Trump and his family today that he would be safe. I personally don't like a lot of what's going on. I don't like the people he's surrounding himself with. I don't like Bill Gates being around him. That's a no-no. Bill Gates is an evil man, and I don't care what anybody says. He is. He is no good for this country. He's no good for this world. So pray that Trump doesn't have anything to do with this man. I'll just tell you that right now, because he is evil. He's a genocidal maniac, just like these other sick people who want to reduce the world's population significantly. So we got a lot to pray for. I fasted today. I'm already done. I fasted this morning, so we'll see what the Lord wants to do with it. But anyway, pushing forward, we're on January the 20th in this. This is called wisdom. The question asked here says, is there any wisdom apart from God? Is he the only source of wisdom? Well, he's the source of the greatest wisdom there is, that I do know. But God can give wisdom to men. So ultimately, really, is it from man or is it from God? I don't know. Let's take a look. True wisdom comes from God. Although God may use other resources, such as the world he created or other people, to provide you with his wisdom, be careful to evaluate these other sources. While they may seem insightful or able to offer good advice at times, screen everything against the wise words of God recorded in the Bible. When you read the truth every day, you will get better at discerning the lies of the evil one. And we're in an age now where it's filled with lies from all sides. We need to be discerning what is true and what is fiction or just outright balderdash. God's response to this, Proverbs 3:7. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn your back on evil. Colossians 2:3. In him lie hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. And in 1 Corinthians 3:19 it says, the wisdom of this world is foolishness to God. As the scriptures say, God catches those who think they are wise in their own cleverness. God catches people all the time. The best counsel you can get, I don't care what anybody says, go to godly people for godly counsel. They are the best people to get overall counsel from, hands down. God's promise to us in Proverbs 3:19. Now you got to be careful with Proverbs because not all Proverbs are promises. A lot of them are just guidance. It doesn't mean it will happen. That's the way I understand it anyway. By wisdom the Lord founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. Okay, now that is true. That is a fact. You might be saying, well, what do you mean? Aren't all Proverbs promises? Well, it depends how you look at it. And I'll give you an example. children, obey your parents in the Lord. And then it goes on to say that your children will have long life if they obey, if they honor their parents, they obey them. That's not true. My pastor and his wife in Taiwan, they were Americans, they lost their daughter at 29 years old. By no means is that a long life. So what does it really mean? She was a godly person. They were godly people, yet their daughter drowned in the ocean at Taiwan. I remember that. I wasn't there. I was in Taiwan. I wasn't at the ocean with them that day. That was a Saturday. Terrible story, which I believe had terrible repercussions later on. It absolutely broke my pastor and his wife. Never saw them like that. And he's gone home to be with the Lord now, and she's back in America. But anyway, they asked that question. I thought if we live godly and we honor and obey our parents, that we'll have a long life, as the Bible says. Well, 29 years, depending on how it was lived, might seem like a long, good life. I don't know. The Lord knows. But that's what I say. Be careful taking Proverbs 100% as promises. Yes, they're factual in the wisdom that they are, but they're not promises the way a promise is like God promises never to leave you nor forsake you. If you understand what I'm saying. So just be very careful with that. I did another video years ago about Proverbs. Just be careful, because you can trick yourself into believing things, and then when you get let down, then you forsake God because you think God is a liar. God doesn't lie. His word doesn't lie. That's why you have to know what the Bible is really saying. So just understand the Proverbs. I'm not saying be careful. You don't need to be careful with Proverbs. Just understand the true meaning of what the proverb says when you're reading it. That's all. God bless you guys. Stay prayed up, and we'll see what happens in the near future. Who knows? By tomorrow, this time tomorrow, this country might be very different. I don't know. God bless you. Stay safe.